I was sipping coffee when I saw her face on the camera feed, hood up, can in hand, shaking it like she was born for destruction. My sister, my own blood. The hiss of spray paint echoed through the mic like a slow betrayal. She wrote one word on my front wall: failure. That's what she thought of me. The next morning, when the paint had dried and the neighborhood whispers began, I didn't clean it, not yet. I wanted the world to see what jealousy looked like in daylight. She was the golden one once, my parents' miracle, the kind who could burn a house down and still be called misunderstood. I was the quiet one, the one who followed rules, stayed out of trouble, built things piece by piece. When I bought my house, she called it cute. When I got promoted, she rolled her eyes. When I stopped answering her late-night money calls, she stopped pretending to love me. It started with sarcasm, then silence, then the paint. I didn't confront her that morning. I didn't even call my parents. I just watched her mistake, frame by frame, from the security footage. Her license plate, her bracelet, her smug little smirk when she turned toward the camera, probably thinking I was too soft to use it against her. She always underestimated me. When I finally showed my parents, they sighed like it was my fault. "Don't make it bigger than it is," my mother said. "She's going through a rough time," my father added. Right. Her divorce, her debts, her endless chaos that we were all supposed to orbit around. I didn't argue, I just nodded, because arguing with them was like shouting into a void lined with excuses. But I made a quiet decision that night. If they refused to see what she'd become, I'd make sure the world did. Step 1 was simple: post the video. No words, no captions, just the footage of her defacing my home, time-stamped, clear as daylight. Within hours, the comment section turned into a storm. Old classmates, neighbors, even her ex-husband. Everyone had an opinion. She called me in tears. "How could you do this to me?" she said, her voice cracking with fake disbelief. "How could you do that to my house?" I asked calmly. "It was a mistake. I wasn't thinking." "No," I cut her off. "You were thinking. You just didn't think I'd do anything." She hung up. My parents called next, furious. "You're humiliating your sister online," my father said. "She did that herself," I replied. They demanded I take the video down. I refused. Then came the guilt, the old familiar guilt they used to keep me quiet. But not this time, because this time I had something they didn't know about. 2 days later, when the video hit local news, I filed a police report. I didn't want to press charges at first, I just wanted her to see her actions have weight. But then I found out she'd been telling people I faked it, that the footage was staged. That's when I called Officer Patel, the one who handled the case for my old security installation job. He owed me a favor. I asked him to make a house visit, not to arrest her, just to educate her. We drove together to my parents' house where she'd been hiding. My parents were on the porch mid-argument with her when we pulled up. The blue lights reflected off their faces. Fear, confusion, denial. I stepped out first, calm, composed. "Evening, Patel," said, flashing his badge. "We received a vandalism report tied to this property." My sister froze. My father stepped forward. "This isn't necessary." "It's protocol, sir," Patel said firmly. "We have clear footage and the homeowner has rights." My sister's voice trembled. "You called the police on me?" I looked straight at her. "No," I said quietly. "I called accountability." Her face drained of color. For once, she didn't have a comeback. Patel went through the motions, statements, evidence, a brief warning about charges. But what broke her wasn't the legal talk. It was my silence, the kind that said everything I didn't need to. When it was done, Patel shook my hand and left. My parents stood there, speechless, like strangers. I could see it in their eyes. For the first time, they didn't know which child to protect. That night, she sent one last message. "You ruined my life." I didn't reply. I just scrolled up to her old messages. The ones where she mocked my success, demanded money, called me lucky. She never understood. I didn't get here by luck. I got here by restraint. By holding back every time she tried to drag me down. By being patient until the moment was right. Revenge doesn't need rage. It needs precision. Weeks passed. The paint was gone, replaced by a new coat. Soft gray, clean, unscarred. But I kept the footage saved, a quiet reminder of what loyalty should never look like. My parents stopped defending her after that. The silence in our group chat said enough. And my sister? She learned what it feels like to be seen, not as the victim she played, but as the architect of her own downfall. I didn't destroy.